Hi all, welcome to the webinar conducted by LPTC Club. If you don't know what LPTC is, it's a club registered under Students Union Latrobe University, and the main agenda of the club is to empower our fellow mates in leveraging their skills in pen testing and also in other fields in cybersecurity. So today we have a bug bounty hunter and also a security engineer, Anil Tom. He is listed in Hall of Fame in different Hall of Fame of different companies like Google, Apple, Oppo, and many more. You can see his LinkedIn profile and see the huge list. So now I invite Anil to start the presentation.
Thank you, Derek. Hope everyone can see my screen, right? Before going to start, I would like to thank Mr. Derek for inviting me to this session, and also LPTC for conducting this event. I'm not wasting much time. Today we are going to talk about bug bounty, the road to bug bounty, how to get started in the bug bounty hunting. And before that, I will give some basic introduction about myself. I am Anil Tom, currently working as a security engineer at UST Global Trivandrum. I'm a core team member at Eternal Security. It is a community for techies and technology enthusiasts. I'm a bug bounty hunter. Obviously, that's why I'm here. And I'm an MCU student. And I'm a CTF player also. I do CTFs when I got free time. I do in Hack the Box, Try Hack Me, and various events. In the last event, I played in Bugcrowd Level Up CTF 7. And I got some prizes over there also. And I'm a late member at Kerala Police Cyber Dome. And as a bug bounty hunter, I got listed in more than 70 plus website companies Hall of Fames. Some of them are Google, Microsoft, eBay, Adobe, Yahoo, Apple, Oracle, Kaspersky, Symantec, Oppo, and etc. Okay, this is basic disclaimer and nothing much. Anything conveyed through this webinar are solely for educational purpose. This instructor will not held responsible for any malicious use of the contents. And why I am here? I'm here to provide some basic knowledge about how to get started in bug bounty hunting and information security. And it's absolutely a beginner level session. And if you're already in security or bug bounty hunting, I'm sorry, it might be getting bored in you. I'm sorry for that. So let's see what are the topics we covered today. First, we cover introduction to bug bounty. In that, we will see what is bug bounty hunting, what is bug bounty, who is a bug bounty hunter, and all the things we will see. Then, we will see what are the bug bounty platforms. Then we see where to start and how to start. We will see. Then where to practice also I will cover that topic session, and I will show some of my POC proof of concepts and some explanation of some of the recent findings, and also some of the tools which we used while doing the bug bounty hunting. So what is a bug bounty program? Paying monetary reward to a security researcher for certain qualifying security bugs. That means if a company hosting a bug bounty program means if one hacker find a vulnerability in their website or whatever their assets and particularly reported to them, and the company will reward some analyze the report, and if there's if it's a valid one, then he will the company will pay monetary reward, or sometimes they will give some swag, so sometimes they only give some have a film. So the process of this is called bug bounty program. For example, we have one company called xyz.com. So xyz.com is a company website of xyz, and one hacker find a security flaw or security vulnerability in xyz.com. Then he ethically reported to xyz.com. Then the xyz.com's in-house security team, every company has some security team, right? So xyz.com's security team will check the vulnerability. If it's valid and it's not duplicate, he is the first one who identified the vulnerability. then they will trigger the vulnerability, then they will check and they will analyze and they will patch the vulnerability. After patching the vulnerability, the XY user pay a certain amount, bounty amount. Sometimes it will not be amount reward, sometimes they will give some gift or some Hall of Fames. It's according to the policies, and the amount or gift will be decided by the impact of the issue reported by the hacker, bug bounty hunter. So, who's a bug bounty hunter? The person who, a hacker who is paid to find vulnerability in softwares and website, whatever assets in the scope, that person is called bug bounty hunter. So why bug bounty program? This is 21st century and there are many tools, tools and scanners will be there. So we can just use the scanners and just scan the website or whatever the asset we can use, right? No, but the main issue is current security measures cannot catch every vulnerability. Bug bounty programs can catch the business logical issues which the scanners will miss, because most of the scanners will check only the off top 10 vulnerabilities or that vulnerabilities. They didn't check the logical issues or business logical issues. So we have to do it manually. That's one reason. The another one is bug bounty program offers ongoing testing, unlike the point-in-time testing. Normally, when a company launch a website or applications, they before going to launch, they will just they will analyze and they will check, they will test, do all that security testing and all. But then they will test once in a 3 months or half a yearly. But there will be chances to some vulnerabilities there, right? So if a bug bounty program is there, the bug bounty hunters it is a public program also. Then bug bounty hunters will can check the vulnerability 24/7 into 365. Like on say ongoing testing, so the company will get more advantage and it will become more secure. To prevent critical bug or vulnerabilities sold in black marks, that means if a company hacker find a critical vulnerability in one of the program and one of the website, and they're providing a bug bounty program, then the hacker obviously share the vulnerability to the company through the bug bounty program, right? Because he will get monetary reward, he will get fame and many other things, right? So that he will directly report to the website or the security team. Or otherwise, there may be chances to he will sell into black marks and it will affect the company's reputation and so company's values. Then the bug bounty program enlists the help of experienced hackers to find vulnerability before attackers do. Like there are many experienced hackers in the world, right? But every company can afford them. So if you have a public bug bounty program, all the experienced hackers and hackers will check your website and find vulnerability. If there's any vulnerability, they will find and they will report you. So it's a huge help, right? And it is the best way to secure the publicly facing application in infrastructure. The publicly facing application infrastructure means the one who publicly available, like the in websites and internal, not the internal websites, the public websites, so that it will help companies to secure that. So till now we see why bug bounty in this case of company. Now we are seeing why bug bounty in the case of a bug bounty hunter. To obviously to make money, we'll get a lot of money from bug bounty hunting when we look in the monetary side, and we also have some fun while doing the bug bounty hunting. We have a lot of fun is there. So it is another reason. Then to build a strong portfolio means you can if you are good in a bug bounty hunting, you are got listed in many Hall of Fames and you got many rewards and you got some CVs and all things. Your profile, your resume will be good, right? So you have a strong profile. So if you're a bug bounty hunter and your friend is a normal student, you both went for an interview, and the situation when you come are both and the company will choose you because you have the practical knowledge more than him. So it will help to build a strong portfolio. To be challenger means if a new new feature or new technologies come, there is a opportunity challenging us to break it that, right? So it's getting challenging when a new update comes to some software and application or website. There's a chance we can challenge it and we can break it, right? That's why mainly we do bug bounty hunting. Then where we can find vulnerable bug bounty programs. There are two types. We can find two types of programs. Like there's one site listing all the sites which have the program bug bounty programs, and some companies have their own individual program. In when we come to bug code, HackerOne Integrity, they have n number of bug bounty programs in their list. But when we come to Google and all, they'll only accept the vulnerabilities of Google products or Facebook. In case of Facebook, we can see the Facebook's products. When we come to HackerOne Bugcrowd, there are listed n number of programs. In that, there is two type of programs will be there. One is public program and private program. Public program is when we sign up in Bugcrowd or HackerOne, anyone can access to that programs. So we can find vulnerability in that, and we can report to that and get paid or whatever according to the policy. In the private program, we will get the invitation by our performance in the public programs. If you submitted 2-3 vulnerabilities in public programs and got reward or got accepted, we will get an invitation from private program, and we can try on that also, because in private programs the persons who testing is limited, so there's the chance to get the vulnerability is high. Then how to get started? Before getting started, we have to have the basic knowledge of computer network protocols like HTTP and all. Then web application, how is web work, and all the things. We have to get the basic knowledge. Then also we have to go in our top 10 vulnerabilities. In case vulnerabilities, also is a open source community. They list vulnerabilities in every top 10 vulnerabilities every 4 years. Then we have to read bug bounty articles that will help us to get into know what are the other hackers or bug bounty hunters, how they look, and how they what are the vulnerability they have found and how they found, and all the things we can see. Then also play CTFs. CTFs means capture the flag. There are capture the flags, and there is two types: Jeopardy and boot root. In Jeopardy CTF, there will be many challenges will be there, so we have to solve the challenges. Then we will get one flag. In boot root CTFs, there we will get one IP address or one website name. We have to find vulnerability. Then we have to exploit it and get into the user reverse connection to the user account. So once you get the user, then we have to do the privilege escalation and get into the root. Then we will get the root flag also. So like that. Then practice on vulnerable web application before going to start with real like real websites. We have to practice on vulnerable website. That will make us more confident, and we will good in that vulnerability that assessments and all. Then always read in books like in bug bounty, related to hacking and bug hunting. Then follow active bug hunters in Twitter. When we follow hackers and active bug bounty hunters in Twitter, they will share their tips, how they found vulnerability and all the things they will share. So it will help us to use that right. Then watch bug bounty POCs videos, proof of concept videos, all the write-ups, blogs, disclosure reports in HackerOne, etc. We can see. Then follow YouTube channels related to ethical hacking and bug bounty, like Stoke, Cybermentor, Namsec, Jasonadix, etc. To be successful in bug bounty hunting, I can tell these are the two keywords: interest and hard work. There are, if you are not in computer science background, or you are not familiar with computer and web application, it's not issue. If you have interest and willing to do the hard work, you will successful. I know many person who doesn't have any computer science background. Now they are great bug bounty hunters or hackers. So the keywords are interest and hard work. And the basic requirement is a computer. Obviously we need a computer. If you don't have a computer also, we can now, if you have a mobile smartphone, you can use one AWS account or one cloud account. Then we can use also, and you access it to your mobile also. That's not the issue. Then an internet connection. Obviously we need internet connection, willingness to learn, and a curious mind. That is the basic requirement for the bug bounty. And basic technical things to get started, like basic protocols like HTTP protocol, TCP by IP models, and all the things we have to know. Then basic Linux commands, and how web application work, and what are the technologies used in web application. Then it's the some basics of networking, and some basics of the HTML and other, and then PHP, JavaScript, Python, and etc. And also getting familiar with the tools like Bobsuit, Nmap, Derb, Search, SQL Map, Arjun, and many other tools will be there. We have to get familiar with that while we're doing the bug bounty hunting. So choose your initial path means when you start getting started in the bug bounty hunting. In this there are many categories, like we have web application bug bounty hunting there, mobile application, mobile, we have Android and iOS there, and API testing network, and many more is there. So before going to start, we have to choose which is your initial path. Like we have to good in everything, but we have master in one thing, right? So that in many cases everyone start with web application because it's more easy. So most of them start with the bug bounty in web application. Then you have to put in OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities. The OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities means OWASP is the Open Web Application Security Project. There is an open community, open source community. They will provide tools. They will write blogs and tutorials and make some books and all the things. And every 4 years they will publish the top 10 vulnerabilities on them. In last they will publish in 2017. We hope in the next year 2021 they will release then next top 10 vulnerabilities. These are the top 10 vulnerabilities in web application in 2017. And the injunction, the top 10 vulnerabilities, and first one is injunction vulnerability. For last few years, the injunction is in top one. The injunction vulnerabilities include the SQL injection, which is more common to the web applications. SQL injection, LDAP injection, command injection, LDAP injection, etc. comes into this. The next one is broken authentication issues. This also is a common vulnerability, like our two-factor authentication bypass, and like brute force attack, all the things comes under broken authentication issue. Then sensitive data exposure. The main thing is sensitive data. Our data is important, right? So the sensitive data explosion means sometimes the servers or web applications data, sometimes users data, some like PA, personal informations and all things. So it has some critical information, right? So the data, sensitive data explosion comes into 3. Then XML external entities. Then broken access control. It is in broken access control we can see IDOS, path traversals, etc. The IDOS are the most common in broken access control vulnerabilities. Then security misconfiguration. Due to the misconfiguration of some vulnerabilities will be there. So that will come under this. Then cross-site scripting. This is another most common vulnerability in web application and all. So in cross-site scripting, the attacker will inject some JavaScript payloads to the site or server. Like there are, we can classify into 5, like self-cross-site scripting, reflector cross-site scripting, stored access or stored cross-site scripting, DOM-based cross-site scripting or DOM-based accesses, and blind accesses or out-of-band accesses. So self cross-site scripting means in this self cross-site scripting, the victim or attacker will inject the payload and it will affect only that attacker only. So it doesn't have that much complexity alone. So, but we can change the vulnerability to another vulnerability, then it will might have some more criticality. Then we have reflector accesses or reflector cross-site scripting. Sorry. In reflector cross-site scripting, the payload which the attacker inject, it's not getting stored but with the server on, but it's just reflecting the code, and whenever the person comes to that code, it will reflect. But when we compare to stored access, when an attacker inject the JavaScript payload, it will store inside the server and server core. So whenever when any person comes to that area, it will store. Then DOM-based accesses like in DOM properties. Then we have out-of-band accesses. In out-of-band access, normally in accesses we will get normally alert pop and all things, but normally in blind accesses we don't get that. In using blind access we can capture the cookie and all. So for that we can use access under tool. It's a good tool for that. Then the next vulnerability is insecure deserialization vulnerabilities like PHP deserialization, Java deserialization vulnerabilities comes under that. Then using commons with non-vulnerabilities, then insufficient logging and monitoring. These are the top 10 vulnerabilities into the according to OWASP. Then I already told that we have to read the articles, bug bounty articles, right? So where we can find bug bounty articles, we can choose Pentesters Land. It's an amazing site, and they have a collection, any number of collections of bug bounty write-ups. If there's any publicly available write-ups, they will link to there. So if you go there, we can see all the write-ups, and it is categorized as year-wise, so that we can see the latest one first. Like that. Then HackerOne reports. In HackerOne, there is an option. Once we found a vulnerability in one program, after getting fixed it, we can ask the HackerOne staff or the company to disclose the vulnerability. If they are also willing, we can disclose the vulnerability, and the other researchers can also see the vulnerabilities in this HackerOne Hackivity. Then Medium is a blogging site. There are also a number of blogs about bug bounty hunting. You can use that also. Then some of the YouTube channels these are, which talk about bug bounty hunting, ethical hacking, and all the things. Some of them are Bugcrowd, HackerOne, Stalk, Namsec, and the Cyber Mentor. These are some of the awesome YouTube channels. Then we have to good in our practice, not only the practical, theoretical also we have to good in, right? So that I can refer these some of the books. The Web Application Hackers Handbook 2, then Mastering Modern Web Application Penetration Testing, Web Hacking 101, Penetration Testing, a hands-on introduction to hacking, then the Hackers Playbook 2, the Web Application Testing with Kali Linux, and also OWASP testing guide version 4. This is version 4.0. Now it's version 4.1 is released, so you can refer that too. Then where we can practice. So here are some some sites for practice and vulnerable application. The BWAP and DWW is OWASP the application, vulnerable application. So we can download it and host in our own local machine. So and we can practice. They are mainly looking into OWASP top-run vulnerabilities, and we can get good in that using that. Then some other sites like Portugal Web Security Academy. It's a site where we can practice. There are some labs, so it's It's free. We can use that and get good, become strong in our basics and all the things. Then we can practice CTFs in RootMe, TryHackMe, HackTheBoss, PicoCTF, etc. Recon is the key for when we do the bug bounty hunting. Whenever I talk about Recon, I will quote this one. If I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I had spent 6 hours to sharpen my axe. That means you are planning to do bug bounty for next 10 hours. Then you have to select a target and maximum recon on that website or that scope which are target. So in that when we do recon for 6 or 8 hours in the 10 hours, you'll get maximum information of the website so that you can perform the further attacks. We have a target, then how to start. So first we have to find a target. In case we can now we can use the Bugcrowd Dell program. Dell have a bug bounty program in Bugcrowd, and it's a only program, and it's a public program. That's why I'm telling that name. So once we choose the targets at Dell, then we have to check the scope. In scope, they will telling what are the subdomains and what are the domains are in the scope. When we look in the Dell, there are many domains and that are all wide scope domains. In wide scope domain means if you choose Dell.com, all the subdomains also included in the bug bounty program, so that we can use that also. So first thing we have to do that is find the target, then in that find all the maximum subdomains within the scope. So we can use the tools like Sublister, Subfinder, AMAS, and many other tools are there. So you can use whichever you convene through you. For my personal experience and my preference is Sublister. I love to use that. Then once you got this in subdomains, select one as a target. Then we have to start scanning on like does search and maps and many other tools are there. We have to get maximum information using Google Docs and all things. Someone is trying to write something, or someone want to tell something. Hello.
Go ahead, Anil. I think so. They were just texting in the chat about
Okay.
the resources. They are sharing resources like YouTube. You can follow David Bombal. Then they're talking about the
Okay.
CTF challenges. You continue.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Then we have to use Google Docs. Google Docs is a thing in which we use while doing bug bounty hunting or hacking. It will help to get the more information about a web application, like if there's any sensitive information publicly available on many things we can find using Google Docs. Then once you find target and get maximum information, check what are the services they are running in their websites, what are the ports and application ports are running and open and all the things. Then check what are if there's any error when we do fuzzing, and we will get any vulnerabilities or any errors exposed. If you then after that, if you got some vulnerabilities, like suppose you got some vulnerability like XSS or cross scripting, then create a proof of concept and make a report, complete report with how you find the vulnerability, steps to reproduce the vulnerability, and attach the proof of concept and submit to the organization. It's company. Always try to maximize impact. If you got some vulnerability, then try to change that vulnerability and make maximum impact on that. Then understand each and every request. That means when we play with when we do bug bounty hunting, we are used to use our tool Bubsuit. It's a good tool, and we can capture all the requests which we send to the browser and try to change the request and try to play with that request and response. So sometimes you will get some information from that and also some vulnerabilities like that. Then you have to check the response and change the parameters. Like if there's a parameter called 1, if what if changed to 0, or what if we change to 2, check the response, and it might lead to some critical information on its critical impact. So while doing bug bounty hunting, these are my best tools, my best friends, Google and Bubsuit. Bubsuit is created by Portugal. It's a Java program, and it's actually acts like a proxy. And once we configure with our browser, it's capture all the requests once we send to the browser, send through the browser, and we can do many things in Bubsuit, like we can do brute force attack, we can change the request, like change the parameters and all many things we can do. So it's a good tool for use. Then obviously Google is our friend, right? Google has answer for almost every question. So if you are stuck in Google, if you're stuck in somewhere, then just check with Google. You will get information about that, and always use Google Docs to find insensitive information and also the while doing the recons. When we do reports, there is some format or some ways there. First, we have to do some give the title, what is the vulnerability, and all things we have to put in the title. Then you have to show put the description, what is the vulnerability, and what are the how it is possible and all the things. Then we have to show the give them steps to reproduce, how we can reproduce the vulnerability, so that it will help them triggering team to analyze the vulnerability, and also put some impact, also write the impact of the vulnerability, so that they can understand easily. Then if you have know how to fix that, then also suggest the fix, and do not spam them, because once you send the report, then give time to them to check the reports, and if they are triggered the report, then they give time to them to like fix the vulnerability. So, and don't if you submit one vulnerability today, and don't go ask update for tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Once you they finish the check all the things, they will get back to you. Though while doing bug bounty hunting, what to do and what do not do. So what to do? Always we have to think out of the book, right? We should not think only about those or stop and vulnerability or science vulnerability or not. We have to think out of the box. Then we can get most vulnerabilities. Then be the first user. Like if you got an invitation, then you have to check the vulnerability first, and you have to report the first, right? That do as much as you can, understand the logic before breaking that. Like if you got an application, check that what's the logic behind the application, and why the application is using other things we have to check first. Then we have to break that, and have some custom methodologies and payloads, everyone using the common methods and payloads, then the chances to get the vulnerabilities and all the bugs is less. If you have some custom payloads and also custom methodologies, then it really helps. Change the backs to increase impact. If you find some one vulnerability, then change to another vulnerability. If there's any if it's possible, change to another vulnerability, and it will help us to increase our impact. The reporting is the money multiplier. So, sometimes in Backroad and not Backroad, in HackerOne, if your report is good and it's well written and everything covered, they will give some bonuses also for reporting for our report. Then be professional. What not to do while doing the bug bounty hunting. Do not copy paste the payloads everywhere while we checking for accesses and all other payload, other things, vulnerabilities. Do not use. There are n number of payloads you will get. Do not copy paste that payloads to them everywhere. How it is actually working or not. First check how it's working and create a payload according to that. Then not the low hanging fruits are not the best. Like not only check with low hanging bugs. Always try to increase the impact. Never when you're submitting a submission like bug bounty report, do not put in half filled submissions. Always try to do in full, complete the report fully, and not only cover with stop and vulnerabilities and all things. Then irresponsible responsible disclosure. It means sometimes the companies will tell, do not disclose the vulnerability in public, or do not disclose the company name or other things. That time we should not publicly disclose the vulnerability details. And sometimes the companies will allow us to like redact our company's name or remove company's name, so that and we can publicly disclose like that. Like that we have to do how the program says do that. Do not do the bug bounty. So now I would like to share one of the findings which I got in one of the Google acquisition, Where's My Train. Where's My Train is a application, mobile application for tracking trains and to know where the train's location and all the things use. It is an Indian application, and it's acquired by Google. And as per Google vulnerability reward program, we can check the vulnerabilities of the Google products or even Google acquisition products. Once if it is acquisition program acquisition product, after completing 6 months, we can find one. We can check the vulnerabilities in that website, and we can report it to the Google. So if it is a valid report, they will give bounty or rewards, cash rewards. So as you know, as a bug bounty hunter, I do search after completing 6 months, but I couldn't find any vulnerabilities. I actually checked their website. They have also a website, but there's nothing much there. Some 2-3 HTML pages are there, nothing much there. No functionality will be there, like login or no functionality there. And when I did recon, I didn't get anything. So after that, 2-3 months later, one of my friends traveling from Chennai to Bangalore, and he shared me a link through Where's My Train to track in his train. So when I see the link, I was like quite surprised, because when I did that recon, or when I checked that website, I couldn't find anyone any URLs like that. So that I copy paste and the links to my mail, because at that time I don't have time to check the website, because I have to pick him, right? So after that, I picked in, and I forgot about that because I'm a lazy fellow. After 1 month, one of my friend asked me to ask his help. Like, he got one OpenRaid vulnerability in one of Google acquisition. Google doesn't accept the OpenRaid vulnerability until we show the impact. So we together start checking the web vulnerability and try to exploit it and get maximum impact, but we couldn't achieve that. At that time, I remember about where was my train. Then I started testing on the website, and also I got that URL from that mail. Then I checked with the search. That's my favorite tool to identify the hidden directories or directory files and hidden files, sensitive files. So I did the search, but I didn't get anything. Then I opened my Bob suite and run a spider on the web application and checked with that. In that, I got one directory called empty. So memory, right? When I checked that empty panel, it was an internal panel, and there's an options to change the status of the train and other things. So I'm not sure, because it's a Google's application, so there's no way to like that. Without any authentication, they won't put any login panel, right? So I just tried to change one train's time, but it it actually works. And I checked with my phone's Android application, whereas my Android application is there. So installed in my phones and checked with the train time is getting changed. So I made a report as internal panel access, and I reported to the Google, and I got $500 for that. I didn't stop there. I did some more recon on that. I found some more endpoints. In that one endpoint called train underscore date, and the single insert, and there's a parameter called train date, and the values of the train date is reflecting in the source code. So I tried with XSS, and this is my payload on mouse over alert document.domain, and I got the access pop-up. So I made a report report and sent to the Google VIP team, and they reject the report as infeasible, and the setting like this. Thanks for the report. We think the issue might not be so enough for us to track this as security bug. While the XSS does trigger, the website does not support signing in, and as the results, there is no session cookie for attacker can share. They actually rightly said that there is no login panel or login page for the users, so the attackers cannot get the user session, and nothing will be the cookie and all. So what will you do? So I was upset, and I was searching for how to exploit the reflector excision, and I got some information like virtual defacement, but it's not the correct way. Then I share with this situation, my problem with Nisam, my friend, and he gave me a solution. He told me that, why don't you create one phishing page of Google and host it inside that Google sign. So we created a phishing page of Google sign in, then and we create a payload like this, when attacker go through the link, it automatically trigger, and it will show a Google sign-in page. And when attackers see, when a victim see that it's Where's My Train is a Google's acquisition domain, so it's a Google's original, right? So when a victim enter the details, it will show into my server. So I made a report again, a POC video, and sent to the Google, and they reward me with $100. And here's the POC video. I would like to share that POC video. So first, they have rejected my report like infeasible. So I create another POC. In this is the payload we have to set, and this code will be sharing hosted in our server. In attacker server, this will host. It's my website and hosting it there. And when we go through that link, you can see, oh sorry, sorry. You can see this is the website, and it's showing a login panel of Google. Obviously, when a user checking, so genuine site, so he will log in, right? The certificate issues to the Where's My Train only. Then we will type something. We'll try to log in. Once he log into, and it automatically redirect, and it will show to my server. And as a, it's just for POC video, I just showed like this. When if you are doing, if you are trying to, if you are an attacker or hacker, he will show redirecting to Google, Google's homepage or Where's My Train's homepage, so that the attacker can steal the victim's Gmail account username and password. So then I did further investigation on that website and some more recon on that website, and I got another endpoint called MT submit change in status. In that, there's also a parameter called train date. And when I checking that, I got that I found that it is vulnerable for error-based SQL injection. Then I tried to exploit it through, first I tried to SQL map, and I had successfully completed that. And I reported to Google VRP that, and I got a bounty of $1,337 from Google. Then after that, with the help of my friend Nizam, I did it manually, and you can see that the database name is printing here. I just hide the database name, and they are that time they're using PostgreSQL 9.6.15. And this is the POC, and I will show some of the bounty which I got in last this years. Okay, now I would like to show some. If you have any doubts, do you have any doubts? Hey, anyone have any doubt?
Yeah, hi Anil. I'm Derek. I got a doubt. So I know that you are from a commerce background, and
Yeah.
how did you land up in this cybersecurity? And the amount you are taking from the companies are very huge, and I highly appreciate your efforts.
Yeah.
It would be great if you could share how
Thank
you.
you. Actually, as Derek said, I did my higher secondary in commerce. Then I did BCom in specialization of accounts and taxation. Then I did 2 years articleship in one of one of article CFM, Chartered Accounts firm. That time, actually, that is not my plan, my family's plan, and that time I got like it's not my way. I started doing studying about hacking and bug bounty hack. First I started with hacking, like once saw some news about some hackers hacked some website, so I started okay if he can hack, then why can I? Then I check how can hack a website, obviously to Google. Then I started learning something. That time I got some friends, Rahul, Nizam, Nandakrishna, Sharan, Shain, and many of them. And the Rahul told me that there's an opportunity we can find vulnerability and report to the companies through responsible disclosure, the bug bounty program. And he taught me the basics of bug bounty hunting and all things. So then I started exploring that side. Then the normal shift was 9:30 to 6:30 or 7:30 to my office work. So I did office work that. Then we came and we have some food and all things. From 11 to 3 to 4 in the morning, how to practice and try to find vulnerabilities and learn things. Like that, I got to get into this field, and now I am here.
Yeah, so like there is a journey, there is a large amount of hard
Yeah.
work. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obviously, because I already said that if you have interest and if you are willing to do hard work, you can reach, and you can be successful. I'm not sure in that I am not that much successful on this, but we can. I have many friends who are not in commerce mind. One of my colleague who working with my UC Global, he's a journalism background. He's from a journalism background.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get into this field if you are not in the computer science background. If you don't have any computer science background, on nothing is there like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like, do you have anything other like? Are you going to show us something more?
Yeah, I will show some demo,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like how will you use Google Docs and all the things.
Yeah. So anyone has any doubt, please post it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask. So like, yeah, Yashas is asking like, is there any career path?
Yeah, if you have did some like bug bounty hunting or security researcher, then you can get into companies like security researcher and all the things, security researcher or security engineer or VIP channels and many things are there. You can be like you will get a good career in this field. In my case, the bug bounty hunting and CTFs helped me get into this job in UST Global.
Yeah. So like bug bounty hunting is like more into like website pen testing only, right?
No, we can do web applications. The web application bug bounty, Android will be there, iOS will be there. It's like what we choosing.
Oh
In
yeah.
my case, I prefer web application because it's more easy for me. Like if you're good in Android and things, then you can choose Android. Or if you want to choose some other things like iOS or network or API, there are many things out there.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other doubt? I talked about Bakro, right? Bakro Dell program. So I will show that. So this is the public page. I didn't log into my account, but you can see there are targets. These are the in-scope targets. So, and you can see the star. So all the subdomains are included in the scope. So we can find vulnerabilities in the subdomains also. And there are also some of the out of scope domains. They're telling that RSA, the subdomains of RSA.com is not in scope. Like we only test the domains in scope domains. Like what are they in the scope? We test that only. So some of the vulnerabilities are in the focus area. They are already given: cross-site scripting, CSRF, SSRF, SQL injection, remote code execution, all the things. Some of the exploited vulnerabilities also they are providing. So like this there is. So once we set a target like Dell.com, so the first thing we are doing is getting the maximum information of Dell.com and the maximum subdomains. For that we can use more than one tool. Here I am using one tool called Sublister. It's an open source tool and you can get it from GitHub. So Sublister written in Python. So Python 3 Sublister -d, then the domain name. So it will take some little time. It will collect all the subdomains of Dell.com. Then we can choose one target. In that we can choose one target, and we can do recon on that and get the maximum information and find the vulnerabilities. It will take some time. So that time I will show about some Google Docking. You can find Google Docs in Google Hacking Database. Oh, okay. Like the Google Hacking Database we can see in ExploitDB. So there are more than 6,000 docs are available currently. So we can use that docs like this. There are 6,040 entries are there. 6,040 Google Docs are there. Even I submitted some. If you found some docs, you can also submit there. So even I submitted some docs. We will check with this one. Here is the explanation and why the doc is used and all the things. It's for the WP File Manager plugin. It has some letters 0 days there, so it can use to exploit that vulnerability. Like that we can use. For example, here I am using a test site. We cannot run live in to live site now because it's unethical. So I use this site, test PHP dot something like this. I got one site. It's not finished yet. Okay. So we choose this as a target because it's a test site. That's why I'm choosing this. So if you choose this as a target, then the first thing is we are using in Google Docs. Like it's written in PHP, so that we are trying to check if there's any PHP IDs will be there. So in URL, PHP ID is equal to then site. We can see many IDs. So we choose first one, and you can see right PHP and ID. So when we see like this, when we put one single quotes, and you can see there's an SQL error. So we can try to exploit this and get the SQL injection. Here's we can check. So let's check with is this possible to SQL injection. First, let's check the vulnerable column number. So, sorry.
Order, ORDER.
Oh, sorry. My mistake, sorry. So when we put 3, it's loading correctly. So we change to 4. And it throws some error. So we are confirmed that there is 3 columns are there. So we use union command. So union select 1, 2, 3. And it returned that column number 2 and 3 are vulnerable for the SQL injection. So now we have to check which are the what is the database name and all things. For that we can use this command, database. So you can get the database name and all things. This is the way of doing manual. Also we can do it automated. For that we can use SQL map tool. So I can show that also. So yeah, here we got the subdomains of Dell. There are n number of subdomains there. There is 12,521 results we got. Some of them maybe duplicates, but most of them doesn't have in duplicate size, but maybe chances are there. So like that, once we choose, we got the subdomains, then we will choose one target and we do the things. Now we'll do the SQL injection. For that we use SQL map, SQL map -u stand for the URL which we use. So -u, then double quotes -dbs for getting the database name. Just getting the details. It will run that time. It's getting, I think my network is a little slow, that's why. Oops. My net connection getting time out because my network is getting slow. Sorry. Like this, we can dump the database and all the things. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're audible. You're audible.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay, this will run in the background. Okay, so I will show how I do normal recon in my website, because I cannot show in a public websites. That's not the, it's not allowed. So it's a normal site. First we got a website and we set the target. Then first we check what are the functionalities of the website and why the website is used. So it's a test website and it is used for blogging. So the functionalities are the one search parameter is there, then there's one commenting session is there. So these are the main functions of this website. So once we got this website, first things we use is check the directories. For that, I use here the search. There are many tools are there. You can use any of them. For that, cd. It's also written in Python, and you can get it in from GitHub. Sorry. Then -e star, because -e stands for what are the extensions with the files we need. So for that, the star, I need all the files which in respect of the extension. So it will check. Okay, it's still running. Okay, it's showing that there's one admin.php is there. So this redirect to login PHP. Then in one folder directory called include index login PHP and robots.txt and upload folder. So once we got a website, we have to first check the robots.txt. Robots.txt is a file which the developers wrote for do not crawl to disallow the crawling like bots like Google crawlers and all things. For in that, and they wrote that login.php. So when we use Google or Google, we can, it's not get indexed in Google in the login.php. So the developers use that technique. So it's a login panel. We will check later. So in this search field, we can search for any accesses or any vulnerabilities there. Also, I forgot to show the Bubsuit. This is a Bubsuit tool by Postfigure. It's a community edition. There are two editions is there, community edition and pro edition. Pro edition, we have to purchase this by payment around $500, I think. I'm not sure about that. So it's a community edition. In this, we can set proxies, and I already connected. So you can intercept the request, and when we click, it will. You can see it will automatically capture the request. So we can send to repeater or repeater for so that we can. Okay, we can send this. We can see the response here. We can change, modify, or anything, whatever we can do. And also, this is an intruder. Here we can do brute forcing attacks, like we can do the brute force, and we can here add payloads and all things. And there are many other options are there. So first we'll check is there any cross-site scripting vulnerability, access vulnerability is there. So for that I check is there any they are sanitizing anything. So for that, test single quote, double quote, this, and enable Bob proxy interception is enabled. So then I search, I got the request here, then I send to repeater, and let's check the source, like test, and you can see that the single quote and double quote is not getting sanitized. And also you can see that there's an SQL error is showing. So here it's possible to do SQL injection and also cross-site scripting. First, let's try with cross-site scripting. For test, I just put one single quote and normal script tag, script alert, sorry, script tag closed. Let's check. And I think it's getting reflected. So let's see. We can copy the URL or show. We can use show response in the browser. you can see the JavaScript which we give into reflecting, and it's getting the pop-up here. So it's also possible to the SQL injection here, like that. Now I'll show about some. Now you see the reflector access, right? So now we see the stored accesses. Let's see, is it finished? Yeah, we got the SQL injection results, the database name that we did already, right? This is the database name, and we can dump the data from this, like -t, then this use database name minus columns. It will return the column name. Okay, so in this we will test with test.com. Do you have any doubts so far? Yeah, I have some recommendation in books I show in my PPT, like these are the recommendation. These three books, these books I can refer to you. Like Hacker's Handbook 2 and all. Mastering Web Hacking 101 is good. Then Web Application Hacker's Handbook. Then Penetration Testing Guide, Hands-on Guide, and these are all good to refer. Here we got the columns because I didn't dump the tables. That's why. Sorry, I forgot dump the tables. So it will dump all the table. In that, in the database there are some tables there. So each table has some column names. So it will dump all the things. Like that, we can dump the user in the database. So this will be exit. So for testing cross-scripting, like here also you can see the PHP. It's also possible to do the SQL injection. So now we are testing the like cross-scripting stored. We'll just type oops. I think test. Okay. So it's getting stored here, and admin will approve this. So we will try with one access payload. Yes, we see. Sorry. Okay. And when we enter, we got it's stored, right? So we will check with private browser. We'll see it's storing to any other user also. We can see it's getting stored. If an attacker can do like this, he can do defacement, or he can do like he can capture the cookies and all the things from like this. So for SQL we'll try SQL injection also here. We'll just put a single quote here. Got an SQL. So if you are going to do, first we have to check the column, what are the columns vulnerable. For that, author by, we just randomly put 10. We don't know how many columns is there. So we will get return that unknown column number 10. So we will reduce to 6. The site is getting loaded correctly. So we will change to 7. And it's also working correctly. So what is will change to 8. So there are 7 columns are there. So we can export as earlier shown. And also we forgot to look in the admin panel. So here we can use that SQL injection login bypass cheat sheet, login bypass. There are some cheat sheets are there for that. You can refer for SQL injection, and you can refer securityidiots.com. It's a good site for refer. Here I just put one pel like single quote or, and the same thing I wrote here. Not. I got into the admin dashboard without getting the credentials. We can see now the credentials username. We can create one usernames and all admin and all things. We have the enter access to the admin dashboard. The stored accesses which we done there, it's also getting reflected inside the admin panel also, so that attacker can capture the cookie of the admin also. When admin is getting login, it's the attacker can get the cookie by using like our blind access payloads and all things. This is a site where you can study the SQL injections, and I will put in the chat. And also I will put in the chat. Sorry. So, this is some sites you can refer for SQL injection and all things. And now I would like to invite everyone to YASCon. It's a virtual conference conducted by YAS, Eternal Security, YAS. It's fully virtual, and it's on November 1st. We also have some CTFs and all things will be there. CTFs workshop will be there. You can follow Eternal Security on Twitter, Eternal Sec, and the Twitter handle. I would like to invite everyone to attend that session conference. There will be good free, speakers will be there. Obviously, international will be. And if you guys have any questions, you can ask now.
Yeah, so thank you, Anil, for the presentation. The technical stuff which you have shown me are like really gems. And I hope that people who have attended this webinar will be finding few bugs in future. And this is like perfectly a beginner-friendly package. And thank you for investing your time and doing this presentation. And like the participants, if you have any doubts, please feel free to ask in the chat. And we both will be online till like 5 more minutes. Because like in Australian time, it will be like we'll be in the call till 7:25. So Anil, you have a question in the chat. How you find that cross-site scripting or any other bug are there in certain directory like that? Every bug have different scenario. How you find correct scenario for some bugs?
Like in this sorry. In this scenario, where's it? Yeah. We have checked the stretch parameter here, and first when we check that like with a single quote and yeah, here you can see that the characters are not sanitizing, so we can do the access that is possible. So we tried that with the simple payload, JavaScript payload script error. That's how we did accesses here. So like that we can find by searching that how it is sanitizing and all the things we can check. There are many things, and sometimes it will be blocked by CSP and all the many things. So we have to check that.
And someone is asking about privilege escalation attack.
Okay, privilege escalation we can do like in CD, normally in Bootstrap CD we can like that one side is there. In when come to web security and privilege escalation call, is there's a one normal user and there also there, and also in admin also there. So there's a possibility to like in this I show that stored access, right? So the attacker can capture the admin's cookie. So admin can the attacker and act as an admin. The normal user can act as an admin. So like that, there's a one privilege escalation method is there in web application. Then maybe because of the like misconfiguration, due to some misconfiguration or IDO vulnerabilities, it's also possible to the privilege escalation attacks.
So someone is asking about the insecure direct object reference.
Okay, I do. If let's say we have one account called one user account, then there's the one user number is 1, and there's one another user is there number user number 2. So once we check while we checking that like if we got only like the URL like profile/1 is the first person. There's one authentication method is there for looking like we have to first we have to log in this website, then we will get access to this profile/1. What if we change the 1 to 2 and if we get the access to the another user? This is a simple example of IDO.
The difference between IDO and CSRF.
Okay. In CSRF attack, the attacker will create one generate one payload or crafted HTML page and send to the victim. Once the victim click on that link or that page, it automatically generates some the attack. Like if you change like to do, perform the CSRF attack in password change or account delete, the attack once the attacker click on once the victim click on the link, to automatically trigger the attack in the backside, and it will work like that.
Yeah, so like feel free to ask any questions if you have. We'll be there till 7:25. After that, we'll end the meeting. And I have shared the YouTube channel where I will be posting this talk. So you can find this video over there.
Chat transcript also, please.
Okay.
If you can, because there are a lot of links and short notes.
Yes, I will try that.
Okay, you can contact me through my LinkedIn or like.
Yeah. So Anil, can you share the LinkedIn account? Else I will do that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm attaching Anil's profile, LinkedIn profile. So you can connect him, and you can also get updated with his new findings and you can also try to reproduce them, because these vulnerabilities can be found in similar websites.
And also I'm sharing the JASCon's conference link.
Mhm.
You can check that also. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you, Derek. I hope no one have any doubts.
Yeah, anyway, thank you for your time, Anil. Thank you thank you all the participants.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
bye. Good night.
Bye.